First, we begin with an I-Team investigation. Millions of images of children being sexually abused are distributed out on the internet.
And tonight, the 9 on Your Side I-Team shows the devastating impact of child pornography on one victim who is sharing his story for the very first time. Chief investigative reporter Craig Cheatham shares the story of Solomon and how law enforcement uses technology to combat child pornography.
It's easy to find images of a young boy from Kentucky being sexually assaulted.
I will always be followed by this. I don't have a legacy that doesn't involve being raped as a child.
That's his voice now, nearly 30 years after he was raped as an 8-year-old. His attacker also took photos of him naked as a young teen, then posted them on the internet.
It makes you just want to curl up in a ball and hide away from the world.
Now in his 30s, Solomon is using a fictitious name and speaking with us off camera because the photos documenting his abuse are still sold online as a titled collection. He's sharing his story so we can better understand the devastating impact of child pornography.
The whole internet sharing and child pornography aspect of it is, I know it kind of sounds unsensitive, it's worse than actual abuse I went through. I can't get away from it ever.
The National Center on Missing and Exploited Children says its cyber tip line received more than 18 million reports in 2018, nearly double the number of tips from the year before.
This is one area where technology has made this problem a lot worse than it was before.
United States Attorney Ben Glassman told the 9 on Your Side I-Team free encryption software and end-to-end encrypted networks enable users to hide child pornography from everyone except the person receiving it.
That makes those crimes that much easier to commit, that much harder to detect, and that much harder to stamp out.
A Microsoft platform called PhotoDNA has been able to detect online child pornography for more than a decade.
If people are doing bad things on your platform, you should eliminate them.
Dr. Hani Farid and Microsoft developed PhotoDNA to create a unique signature for each image, which allows users to compare those markers to previously identified images on a national list. Microsoft offers it free, but Farid says many tech companies are not using it.
What is really deeply frustrating about this is that we could do so much better in this space, and we are simply not. And that is an inexcusable position to be in.
Google, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, and other companies use PhotoDNA, which can now be used to flag videos. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg plans to provide end-to-end encryption for billions of users. He promised to work with law enforcement to identify and stop criminal activity, even when Facebook can't see the content of the messages. But Hani Farid believes Zuckerberg's plan will make it even easier for children to be exploited.
The laundry list is spectacular for the abuses that we are seeing online and for the relative indifference of the major tech companies in dealing with these things.
Solomon blames the worldwide distribution of those horrific photos of him for much of the physical, mental, and emotional problems that nearly destroyed him and will probably haunt him for the rest of his life.
It's already been out there for so long and spread to so many people. I just don't see how it could ever go away.
Tech companies make nearly all of the referrals to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. A study found the image of one child being sexually abused had resurfaced nearly 500,000 times. How can we protect our children online? The center suggests choosing search engines designed for children, or at least have filters that reduce their risk. Tell children to block messages from people they don't know, and tell them to not share personal information about themselves or your family without your approval. Craig Cheatham, 9 on Your Side.